everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today this is going to be the September Boxy Charm look. So obviously the look is including all the products I received in this month's box, which is like pretty much the same for everyone. There's no really variations, so it's very consistent with everyone's receiving. So this is what I did with my box. The only thing that I didn't use was the Brigio Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask, just for the fact that this doesn't really have to do with look, and it would be very hard for me to put this, then wash my hair and do a whole video that would include this, and for it to be unnecessarily extra long. I have used this before, but this video is not including using this product. All the other products I did use. So if you want to know how to get this look with your Boxy Charm box, or if you just want to maybe buy the the product separately from the box, then that's perfectly fine. But we will get right into this beauty right here. Okay, so first starting with my brows, I am using the MAC brow pencil in Spike. This is what I received in the Boxy Charm box. So I like to outline my eyebrows first. It provides a frame for my face. So I'm outlining that, and in the most inner, I am flicking upwards to imitate the natural hair, and then just filling in. The sucky part about this brow pencil that I've never mentioned, it doesn't have a spoolie on the other side. But I am blending as best as I can without it. And I am going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I'm putting on this flat concealer brush and always fixing my hair, and then I am just cleaning up the edges. So pretty much again outlining the brow, but instead with concealer, and then just pulling it down to blend it out. I'm using again my fingers. I always enjoy using my fingers to blend, because of the texture and heat of your fingers. It blends really well sometimes, especially for me in this part of the process. So I'm going to take the Pore Diaries, however you say it. It is a palette received in the Boxy Charm, and I am going in with Gala as a transition shade on a big fluffy blending brush. So this is going again as a transition shade, which should be right between the brow bone and the lid, and covering that entire area. And I am going to deepen that with the shade Stunner, which is more like a warm red brown and focusing that more on the outer corners and the crease, again just to help transition into this shade, Snazzy. So Snazzy is also a brown, but it has a little bit of a purple undertone, and I'm just putting that kind of sloppily all over my lid, because I'm gonna go in with concealer later to carve it out. But I really want to focus this on the outer corners, and then always going back in and blend. It's so important to blend. So I'm just blending everything together to eventually go back in with the same color. Again, focusing this more on the outer corner and in the crease. Okay, so taking a pencil brush, I am defining the inner and outer corners the most, really smoking it out and packing color there. And then I'm going to take the MAC Pro Concealer on a flat concealer brush and centering that to lighten it up. So this shade, Dazzle, that we're putting in the center, really sticks and stands out. And going in back with a pencil brush to define it, and then also a blending brush just to bring back that smokiness, to create this really nice purpley brown halo. And then I'm going to use the Eyeko Skinny Liner. I am tight lining my upper lash line. I'm not doing anything too dramatic. I actually received this in my August glam bag from Eyeshadow. And I'm not winging it out either. So just again, doing a really thin line to help blend what we call eyelashes. False eyelashes, and blending my own eyelashes with the false eyelashes with this L'Oreal mascara. And at the bottom lash line, I'm also going to take the shade Snazzy and put that in the inner and outer corner, and then taking that shade Dazzle and putting it right in the center. So also doing it like a halo effect on the bottom lash line. And then taking the mascara and using that on the bottom lash line as well. It's also going to help smoke this out. And then, of course, we're going to go on to the face. To prime, I like to use the NYX Pore Filler. I have very large pores, and I hate it. So I focus that more on the cheeks, and then the rest of my face I just spray with this NYX First Base Spray. I did break out a little bit, so I am using this NYX color corrector, taking that green and then that concealer type shade. So on this brush, I'm taking the Dermablend and Milani foundation, and I'm taking this on the bareMinerals face brush that I also received in the Boxy charm, and using that, putting it right in the center and then blending that all out. And this actually really gives me a full coverage, which I'm super happy about this foundation duo combination that I just came up with. Okay, so for concealer, I'm using this Dermablend concealer. So creating this kind of like triangle under my eye, and using a shade 2 or 3 lighter than you, and then putting on my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and doing a little heart. Shout out to my subscribers, much love, all 5 of you. And then I'm going to take this flat concealer brush again that I had used at the beginning. So basically, what I'm trying to do is not necessarily blend it out, but make it look a little bit more even so it's easier to blend it out. And what I'm eventually going to blend it out with will be this Miska Beauty tool. You can please use Glambu by Des, my coupon code for 25% off. I don't know. I'll double check, but it's going to be in the video, so don't worry. I got you. And I really love this oval brush to blend. I always felt like oval brushes were out of my league and not very affordable, and then I found this and fell in love. It's just so amazing to blend with. And I felt like my concealer went a little too down, so I'm reapplying some foundation and then just blending it out. And then to set, I am going to be using this NYX contour and highlight palette. So I customize it a little bit. I'm using the more yellow shade and this Real Technique brush to set it, and going back and smoking my bottom lash line because I lose that after covering up. And I'm also going to use that NYX not concealer, contour shade to contour, making that fishy face to make sure I hit those cheekbones. And another oval brush, although this is not necessarily oval, this is from Miss Good Beauty as well, and I cannot live without this without contouring. I've discovered it and it's absolutely great. And then of course always blending the face just like how you would with eyeshadow. And then I'm using this I received also on the BoxyCharm. It's the Studio Makeup Luminous loose brush, and taking this on a elf blush brush. I think that's what it is. And again, doing the fishy face and fixing my hair. My hair was awful that day. And I am using this, what is it called? Get Gorgeous. It's technically a bronzer, but to me, it's more like a highlight. And it is now my favorite highlight. I've never had a highlight look on me like the way it's looking right now. It's absolutely beautiful. Ugh, look at that. And then just using this ColourPop Ultra lipstick. This is another item I received in the BoxyCharm box, and this one's a Mess Around. So they sent a lot of nudes out, and this is the one I received, and I'm glad it's not nude. I'm glad it has like an undertone of gray, and I'm a very sloppy lip applier apparently, and just kind of outlining my lips and overdrawing it a little bit and going closer to make sure that it is precise. And that is it, guys.